Something big has just happened. Over the past few weeks, some of America's largest healthcare stocks have absolutely collapsed. Molina Healthcare down over 50%. Centene cut in half. Even giants like United Health and Elevance Health have taken a beating. And this isn't a tech bubble or a hype stock crash. These are companies that manage real essential services. Medicaid, Medicare, ACA exchanges, things that people rely on every day. So what is going on? At first glance, it looks like panic. But if you look deeper, this might be one of the best value opportunities we have seen in years. These are profitable, cash-generating companies with deep moats and massive customer bases. And according to my calculations, even with fairly reasonable assumptions, these companies could easily triple or even quadruple over the next few years. But right now, Wall Street is pricing them like the entire business model is broken. In this video, we're going to break down exactly why the US managed healthcare sector just got crushed and why the panic might be your advantage. I actually bought two of these companies myself, and I'll go through their financials and calculate their intrinsic value so you can understand exactly why I bought them. Also, I have just reached 500 subscribers, and I really want to thank each and every one of you. Your support means a lot. And if you're new here and enjoy these kind of videos, consider subscribing and clicking the like buttons. It helps my channel to grow and tells me to keep going with videos like this. Alright, now let's jump into the video. So before we get into which stocks might be bargains, we need to understand why the entire sector is collapsing. And it all starts with rising medical costs. Insurers are seeing their medical loss ratio spike above 90%, which basically means that over 90% of the premiums they collect are being spent on actual medical care. More hospital visits, expensive procedures, costly specialty drugs, it all adds up. This surge in healthcare use has been building since COVID, as patients catch up on delayed treatments and new, pricier therapies hit the market. On top of that, many companies expanded rapidly into Affordable Care Act exchanges and Medicaid plans during the pandemic. These programs brought in millions of new members, but these members tend to have higher health risk and cost more to insure. Now, as the government rolls back the pandemic-era Medicaid expansions, subsidies are shrinking and enrollment is dropping, which creates more uncertainty in who insurers are covering and how much it will cost. At the same time, the government is tightening the reins on reimbursement rates and pushing reforms that squeeze insurer profits. The recent healthcare legislation, nicknamed the Big Beautiful Bill by some investors, is capping premium increases, cracking down on Medicare Advantage overbilling, and gradually reducing ACA subsidies. This policy uncertainty makes it hard for insurers to plan or raise prices to keep pace with rising costs. And the result? Earnings across the board are disappointing. Big names like Molina, Centene, United Health, and Elevance have all missed their expectations and cut their future guidance. Investors now expect margin pressure and slower growth to drag on through 2026 or even 2027. And all of this had an impact on market sentiment. What was once a trusted sector is now being called uninvestable by some analysts. Hedge funds and institutions are pulling out as they're convinced this is a permanent shift rather than a temporary hurdle. Now that we've analyzed why the sector is crashing, let me explain why this might not be a real problem. On the surface, this looks like a full-blown crisis. Rising costs, falling margins, and of course, regulatory pressure. But under the hood, the core engine of these businesses is still running strong. These companies still operate in a heavily consolidated industry. They have massive scale advantages, recurring revenue, and most importantly, contracts that often reset annually, which basically means that pricing power isn't gone, it's just delayed. Yes, medical costs may be rising now, but these companies will adjust premiums, renegotiate contracts, and reprice their risk over time. That is just how the system works, and it worked like that for decades. We have seen these kind of margin pressures before, during the rollout of ACA, during COVID, and even in the early 2000s. Each time the sector adjusted, margins recovered, and the best-run companies came out stronger. So while the market is reacting like this is a complete collapse, history tells us it's more like a temporary dislocation. And for long-term investors, That's exactly where value is found. So if this really isn't a long-term problem, the next question is, which stocks make the most sense to buy right now? And while I think nearly every company in this sector looks undervalued right now, my money went into two names, Molina and Centene. And let me quickly explain why. In early July, Centene pulled its 2025 guidance after updated data showed sicker than expected customers in ACA plans. And that meant a massive downgrade to expected profits. Then, Q2 earnings confirmed it, showing a surprise loss and a spike in medical costs. And the stock dropped nearly 50% in a few days. Molina followed with similar news: higher medical costs, risk adjustment shortfalls, and lowered profit guidance. And the market dumped the stock, down 22% in a single session. But despite all that, both companies are still profitable, well-managed, and deeply embedded into the US healthcare system through long-term government contracts. Yes, margins are under pressure right now, but I see it as a temporary issue, not a broken business model. And that's exactly why I added these two stocks to my portfolio. But to better explain why I bought them, we need to look at the numbers. I'll quickly walk you through their financials and run a conservative intrinsic value calculation. Because once you'll see how cheap these stocks really are, the opportunity becomes hard to ignore. Now, onto the financials. So this is Molina Healthcare, currently trading at $165, which is far off its all-time highs from last year of over $400. Looking at their financials, they're currently trading at a really low 8 PE ratio, with an even lower forward PE. They have this great return on invested capital of over 20%, meaning the company does a great job at investing their money, and they have negative net debt, which means that they have more cash on hand than they have debt. A really great metric, especially in turbulent times. Now this is Centene, currently trading at $28. It's also far away from its all-time highs of over $90 that it reached in 2022. Now looking at their price-to-earnings multiple, they're trading at an even lower 7 PE ratio, with a forward PE of 7.5. They do have a lower return on invested capital, but it's still not terrible at 7.5%. And they have a fairly low net debt to EBITDA ratio of 0.6. And we like it when it's under 2.5. So far, we see a similar picture. Now this is a graph of Molina's revenue growth over the last 10 years. We see some struggles in the beginning, however, since 2019, they went from 16 billion to 39 in 2024, growing every year and more than doubling. When we look at net income, we also see growth, especially over the last 3 years, basically almost doubling. Now this is a graph of their shares outstanding. Since 2018, they have been buying back shares basically every year, increasing shareholder value along the way. Now this is a picture of Centene's revenue, and this graph looks even better, as they have been growing their revenue every year since 2016, growing almost 4 times from 37 billion to 147. Looking at their net income, the picture also looks great. If we ignore the 2 years the company's net income shrank due to COVID, we can see that over the past 10 years, the company's profitability went from 500 million to 3.3 billion, which is basically a 5-time increase. Now looking at their shares outstanding, they had been issuing shares until 2021. However, they started buying them back over the last 3 years, which is also a nice shift. Finally, let's look at what analysts predict for the two companies. For Molina's revenue, even with the current struggles, analysts predict the company's revenue to grow basically every year over the next 5 years. Now looking at their earnings per share, we see a dip this year and continued growth for the 4 years after that, even almost doubling in the 4 years. And as far as Centene goes, we see similar growth over the next 5 years for revenue and a bigger dip for net income this year. However, again, expectations to rebound over the next 4. So after looking into the financials of both Centene and Molina, a few things stand out immediately. First of all, they have very low debt levels. Both companies have clean balance sheets with minimal financial risk, which is a great state to be in, especially in uncertain times. Also, these stocks are trading at some of the lowest PE ratios we've seen in years. And finally, there's the profitability. It is expected to dip in the short term, but analysts predict a solid recovery over the next few years. In other words, these businesses are likely to reprice and return to form once the current turbulence passes. So despite the panic, the fundamentals remain surprisingly strong. And that brings us to the key question: what are these businesses actually worth? Let's walk through a quick intrinsic value analysis using conservative assumptions and see just how much upside might be on the table. Let's start by calculating Molina's intrinsic value. In the last 12 months, the company did $20.28 in EPS, and analysts expect their EPS to grow over 50% in the next 5 years. But today, I want to show you just how cheap these companies really are. So let's say that Molina will not grow its EPS in the next 5 years at all, and let's give them a 0% growth rate. And let's say that for the 5 years after that, Molina will only grow their EPS at 5%, which in my opinion is also really conservative. Let's leave the terminal multiple at 15, and as you can see, for a 10% annual return for the next decade, you could pay $274 for Molina today. However, it's trading at $165 and signals that the company is highly undervalued. In fact, I just adjusted the expected return to 18% for the next decade, and only then the company seems to be fairly priced. So that means that with these highly pessimistic numbers, the company could still return 18% over the next decade. Alright, now let's look at Centene. They did $6.78 in EPS over the last 12 months, and I didn't even change the estimations for my Molina calculation. So again, according to these pessimistic assumptions, to get an 18% return over the next decade, you could pay $55 for Centene today, and it's currently trading at $28. I mean, guys, this rarely happens. In fact, I just adjusted the expected return to 30%, and it seems like it could be a realistic return today. I mean, this is simply amazing. That's close to quadrupling in the next 5 years and more than a 10-bagger in the next 10 years. So all in all, I believe that the entire healthcare insurance sector is highly undervalued today. These kind of setups where quality companies with deep moats, strong cash flow, and long-term tailwinds get crushed by short-term fear, they don't come around often. And when they do, that's exactly when value investors can step in. As we saw with Molina and Centene, even with conservative assumptions, the upside is compelling. Molina could return around 20%, and Centene is looking closer to 30% annualized returns over the next decade. And guys, that is really rare. Of course, it's not risk-free, nothing is. But in my opinion, this is exactly the type of market overreaction that creates real, long-term opportunity. Also, tomorrow, United Healthcare, arguably the strongest player in the space, is reporting earnings. I'll be watching it closely and likely doing a follow-up video on UNH, so consider subscribing to not miss out on that. If you enjoyed the video, consider clicking the like button, and as always guys, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.